So if you clicked on this video, it's likely that your LinkedIn posts suck. And whenever you try to post something on LinkedIn, you just end up writing a lengthy essay that nobody wants to read. So in this video, I'm going to show you how you can transform your lengthy essays into posts that people are actually going to read and, more importantly, engage with. Because the truth is that posting on LinkedIn is one of the best things that you can do. And it doesn't matter if you are a business owner, a consultant, an expert, or professional. Posting on LinkedIn just has such a high return on investment that it's just worth it no matter what you're doing. And I'm speaking from my own experience because I've actually been posting on LinkedIn consistently for the past 4 to 5 months, and I've been posting 2 to 3 times a week. And just by posting on LinkedIn, I've managed to receive job offers without having this green banner on my profile picture. I've received inbound leads. People came to me inviting me to podcasts as well. People came to me asking if I can write their LinkedIn posts. So actually asking me if I can be a ghostwriter for them, even though that's not my main offer. And last but not least, I've managed to connect and essentially build relationships with high-ranking CEOs, VPs, and founders of not only startups, but more established companies like Twitch and YouTube, which is just crazy. And if you look at my profile, you're going to notice that I'm not a huge influencer. I don't have a lot of followers, right? I only have 1,670 followers, which I managed to build over the past couple of months. But this is still enough for you to stand out. And it doesn't matter, like I said, whoever you are, posting on LinkedIn is one of the best things that you can do. The reasons being, people have a lot of money, and it's a networking platform, right? So naturally, LinkedIn is for networking and building relationships, which is extremely powerful. So what's this one instant change that you can make to start posting on LinkedIn consistently without writing lengthy essays? It's actually quite simple. You want to learn how to format your posts and, more importantly, cut the fluff, because a lot of people just end up writing way too much that nobody wants to read, like I said. So what I did was I collected 5 tips that I'm using every time I write LinkedIn posts, and these really helped me write my posts and make them more consistent when it comes to the formatting, and more importantly, something that people actually want to read and interact with. So let's start off with the first tip, and that's to keep your sentences short. You don't want to have more than 8 to 10 words per sentence, especially in your hook. And this is an example that I'm going to give you now. This is actually a hook that just doesn't work, because if you look at it, the first sentence just has around 18 words or something, which is crazy. And I'm going to show you a little trick that you can use to kind of see how your hook is going to look like on LinkedIn. So what you want to do is you want to go to free LinkedIn post preview generator. I'm going to leave the link to this in the description, and you want to paste your LinkedIn post here. And it's going to show you how your LinkedIn post is going to look like, how the preview is going to look like. And what I want to do now is maybe add a little line break here. So you're going to see, once you upload your post here, you can see how people are going to perceive your post. And in this case, the hook is just way too long. It's not clear, it's just too much text, so people are going to skip past it. Because the most important thing you want to have on LinkedIn is make people click on the see more button, right? And this just doesn't cut it. So let me go back to my board here and instead show you a hook which would work better. And this is where you would cut the fluff and make sure that your hook, but also your whole post, is as short as possible. So you want to keep your sentences short, and like I said, no more than 8 to 10 words per sentence. So let me copy and paste this into the tool. And as you can see, well, right now it doesn't look that good, but let me add a line break. Looks a little bit better. Let me add another one. Looks way better now, right? And now let's say this is then your whole post. So people read the first 2 lines and they're much more likely to click on see more if your hook or your whole post even looks more like this and has shorter sentences versus the one that I just showed you where it's just all over the place. You have way too many words in one sentence. So tip number 2 to nail your LinkedIn formatting is to use white space as much as possible. If you look at this comparison right here, you're going to notice that the text on the left is just very hard to read, especially as you're skimming through the LinkedIn feed or any type of feed online, right? If you see something like this is just a huge block of text. You're not going to read it, right? And the same goes probably for 99% of the people. So you want to use white space as much as possible. Here's an example of a post, of the same post actually, which has a lot of white space. It's much more readable, right? Like you can actually skim through it and extract as much information as possible, which is something difficult to do in this post on the left side. So tip number 3 is to use bullet points, arrows, and numbers when you have a list, when you're listing something, right? So on the left side, you can see the same post as on the right side, but without any bullet points, without any arrows, without anything, right? It looks a little bit bland, and it's basically the same type of text over and over again. So you want to emphasize your strong points or any takeaways from your post. You want to emphasize them with arrows, with symbols, maybe sometimes with emojis. You don't want to overdo it, obviously, but try to use bullet points, emojis, and arrows and anything like that when you're listing something, because it's going to make your post stand out a little bit more, and more importantly, add some more structure to it. Tip number 4 is to avoid any adverbs. And adverbs are words like really, very, usually, actually. I listed a couple of them here, and you want to avoid any adverbs because you might look a little bit desperate trying to get your point across, right? So instead of saying something like, this is really the best tool out there, or I was very, very something, something, you want to just keep it concise, keep it straight to the point. This is the best tool out there. And last but not least, this is more of a controversial one. You want to avoid corporate AI jargon. You want to avoid using ChatGPT to generate or to write your LinkedIn posts unless you create a custom GPT and you feed it information. Maybe you feed it your past posts and you want to kind of replicate the way you wrote in the past. That's a different story, but for that you need to first start posting consistently on LinkedIn with the right formatting to make sure you get engagement and any results out of it, right? So try to avoid using ChatGPT, because if you go to ChatGPT and you ask it to generate a LinkedIn post, you're just going to get a bunch of corporate jargon. It doesn't matter what topic it is, it's just always the same stuff. You're also going to end up with a bunch of hashtags at the bottom, which people are just going to see that it's AI generated. It's a bunch of corporate jargon. You want to avoid it, especially if you want to establish yourself as a LinkedIn creator. So these are 5 general tips that you can start applying right now to improve your LinkedIn formatting. And if you want to get access to over 300 viral LinkedIn hooks that I've collected over the past months, then simply send me a DM on Instagram and I'm going to send you over a Notion doc. It's completely free. You can just check it out yourself and you can use these viral hooks to come up and, more importantly, get inspired by successful hooks that have been used by a lot of creators that I've analyzed, but also by myself to, like I said, get me the results that I wanted. For example, getting invited to podcasts, getting inbound leads, job offers, ghostwriting inquiries, and connecting with high-ranking CEOs and founders. So that was about it. Thank you so much for watching. And if you have any questions, let me know in the comments below. Cheers.